Hey, everybody, and welcome to another installment, yet another edition of Work Your Career Wednesday. We have an amazing show today. I got to tell you, just Clara, you are amazing. And can't wait to talk with you. It's going to be a great show. Can we pay some bills first?
That would be good. We could do
Is that
that.
okay? Okay,
I
cool.
think that's a really good idea.
I love that. All right. So if you want anything, everything, and what's another word for anything and
The
everything?
world.
The world documented via video, you've got to get a hold of Steven Saldana at White Husky Films. I am telling you, he is amazing, amazing. And if you got a podcast, a speaking event, a commercial, music video, what else, Clara? What else?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm kind of ready to make a music video now that you say that.
You know what else we're doing? We're starting to do audiobooks and what's the other thing? Audiobooks. Oh, we're just growing by leaps and bounds. If you want to get involved with one of the best around, and I would actually say the best around, get in touch with us. The number's on the screen, or you can always find us on the interwebs, www.whitehuskyfilms.com. Here's what you do: you dream, create, record in that order. And when you choose White Husky, you'll be so glad you did. And of course, we got Jane's Physical Therapy. Clara, I'm going to tell you, they are home care physical therapy specialists. Okay, so if you've been in an accident, you had surgery, you can't get to the physical therapist, they will come to your home and get you guys just squared away. We're looking for more PTs, more physical therapists, and physical therapy assistants in the North Shore, West Bank, Laplace, Metairie. Oh gosh, where else? New Orleans proper. Get a hold of us. The website Janes JAYNES PT.com, janespt.com. Send us a message there. Go to LinkedIn and just type in the search bar Janes JAYNES physical therapy, and you will get a hold of us. I'm actually our spot. Can you believe this, Claire? This is a bonus to people that hitch their wagon to us. I'm actually recruiting on this, and we have found some amazing people, Clara. Let me tell you.
That's so good. I tell you, it's all
I
about the
mean,
networking. It's all about the
uh,
connection.
I'm telling you, and one thing about this job. Now, I got to tell you, I've placed aerospace engineers, petroleum, chemical engineers. And I am telling you, it's not an easy find, but the ones that we're finding, we got a few starts happening, I think this week. So you guys have been great. Pass the job along again. New Orleans proper. This is a long commercial, but New Orleans proper, and Met all the towns that are in the places that I listed. Get in touch with us. Casey Janes is one of the it's like it's funny, Claire. It's like talking to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you know quality when you see it, and I'm telling you, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. So get in touch with us. Can't wait to talk with you. And just for fun, TV Dolls. If you haven't seen this band, I am telling you, out of Houston, they are amazing. TV Dolls. Look them up on Google, and of course, Honeycut Southern. They are an incredible band. Let's get to the show, shall we, Clara?
It's time. Let's do
Oh
it.
my goodness, my goodness. Clara Capano. How can I describe her? She is an okay, international speaker. She has been helping people in their personal Here's the thing that's funny about what we're going to talk about. Professional development is personal development. Personal development is professional development. She speaks all around the world. Um, oh, it's escaping me. What's the group that you're with? You speak
Well, I'm the Living Your Worth speaker.
living
And
your worth.
yeah,
Oh my God, I can't
mhm.
believe it. I'm still thinking about physical therapists, I think.
I know.
Living your worth speaker. She has been featured on NBC, ABC, CBC. Oh, got a little some Canada and Fox News, international best-selling author. Hello, and host of course, the Working Women's Channel and Living Real TV. Been a guest contributor for publications including Forbes, CEO Mom, Inc., Motivation and Success, and more. Catch Clara on season 3 of Amazon Prime. Speak up and get all your clarity in a
And I'm
complex world.
exhausted after just hearing all that stuff.
ClaraCapano.com. Clara, welcome to the show.
Thank
Such a
you.
treat to have you on.
Well, it's an
Really.
honor to be here, Bradley. So thank you.
Oh, my heart is full. It really, no, seriously, it really is. Clara, you've seen it all. Okay. I don't think
About
there's much that you haven't seen. We're in a situation now professionally, where you got tech companies that are getting kicked in the teeth. You have all sorts of different things that are transpiring. And as much as they hate to admit it, recruiting is really their main goal. Look at all the great stuff we're doing. Come work with us. Can you, just briefly, because I have just taken up about 90 minutes introducing you. And it's amazing. That's the other thing. Our guests have credits a mile long. So, please forgive me on that, but you did it. Tell us a little of your story.
Well, I'm that quintessential overachiever.
Mm,
And, I grew up chasing the boxes, meaning I wanted to check off as many boxes as I could.
yeah.
I always did all the right things, took the right courses, got the right jobs, had the big titles. And I found myself in my mid 30s looking at this laundry list of boxes that were checked, but
Mm,
looking in the mirror and not liking who was looking back at me, feeling empty, feeling lost, feeling alone, and just completely unfulfilled. And so that caused me to really start to re examine how I was defining success. And what I found is that, we define success so many times by other people's standards and expectations for us. And what we really need to do is to get back in the driver's seat of our own life and start to define success and do it on our terms. And it's not about this thing called balance. It's about, again, finding that harmony because, life happens when we light ourselves up on the inside. And I want people to make sure that they are living their lives fully engaged. I don't want you to just be awake. I want you to live your life fully alive.
wow. What's funny? So we've been going back and forth, me, Marcus Ogden, Doc Liz, and, some other folks, Kim Ringles, amazing. And, I live with, for example, and this is just an example, I live with chronic pain. If people that had, I've been a performer most of my life, 3 car accidents, it's been a thing, right? And one thing that's funny about people that live with chronic pain is that, you know, we live in such a meme time, meme generation. Know your
Mhm.
worth and da, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And sometimes you find out that your worth is not what you think it is. Reality is a little
Mhm.
different. And so people have to step it up. But my point is that, it's such a discouraging, you know, with physical chronic pain. One
Mhm.
thing that's interesting about what you're talking about is it's not about balance. When people are going through pain, whatever it is, physical, emotional, mental, whatever it is, people forget that we're people and you
Absolutely.
decide and you exist. How often do you see that where people are just existing?
Oh, unfortunately, too much. And I mean, even scientifically, the Surgeon General has come out and has talked about burnout being an epidemic. On a global level, organizations, companies spend over $300 billion a year globally. It's almost 5 billion just in the United States alone due to lost time, turnover, employee retention, due to this thing called burnout, because so
Yeah.
many of us, we are pushing ourselves to the limits, and we have to understand it's this harmony of what I like to call the hustle and the flow. There is a time to work, but we
It's
also have to
hard out
remember,
there for
yeah, but if we're going to be able to give our best work, if we're going to be able to serve at the highest level possible, we also have to learn that there is beauty in the rest. We have to pull back. We have to rest and re-energize ourselves. Otherwise, we're going to burn ourselves out, and life isn't meant to be lived on that hamster wheel.
let's talk about that. What does it mean to rest? Right. So I would
Mhm.
consider myself, and a high performing and person.
Mhm.
But boy, I tell you, when it's my body tells me, you
It
know,
does.
and
Yeah.
it's a
And you
wall,
have to
and
listen.
it's so, oh God, it's so debilitating, right? Because
Mhm.
you begin to, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, the time thief of depression sets in when you hit the wall. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? What
Yeah.
does that mean to rest? What does that mean?
So I like to think about it as living in joy because everybody can quote unquote rest in their own way. So, what I encourage people to do is at least 15 minutes a day to do something that brings you joy, something that lights you up. Yes, you could go take a nap. Yes, you can get a massage. All of those things are great. But also, it could just be listening to music that you love and having a dance party with yourself, going outside and getting some fresh air, taking your dog for a walk, throwing the ball with your kid or your grandkid, anything again that's going to light you up on the inside, because that's a part of that rest and recovery too. It doesn't just mean taking a day off or going on vacation. When you are full on the inside, people are attracted to that glow on the outside.
I see there's this subreddit that actually the spinoff of this show is called Work Your Career Extra, right? We're premiering it this month, and it's really, I go on that subreddit, and it's just such a constant flow of misunderstanding. There's
Mhm.
people that have been out of work for a year, a month, you know what I mean, and they apply and they do this and they get discouraged. And one of the things that I've always said is, they have to recruit you,
Mhm.
whether you're employed or whether you're not employed. The problem is that people forget, they forget they have that power to just be honest. I mean, there's so much power in honesty. I saw this one. It's like, well, what do I say? Absurd question. This hiring manager asked a candidate, give me what was it? Give me, oh, I should pull it up. Give me a reasonable explanation why you weren't employed for a year. And the answers were stunning. Say you had a health issue. Well, if you say you have a health issue, then you're a health liability.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you say I had family issues, well, okay, you better remember
Mhm.
that lie because it's going to come up. How about just being honest and saying, look, I took a year off because I have the resources to do it. I had to recharge my batteries. And frankly, I wanted to see if I was even interested in staying in this business.
Absolutely.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and I
People
think we
have,
also have to take everything in. Life happens, and
I
somebody's
mean,
past
right.
doesn't necessarily define who they are in the present or the future.
Yeah. Well, how did you, I mean, I know you said it briefly, but how did you get to that point? And I mean, what you're talking about are things that you developed over
Hmm.
time, right? And now you're given the sauce,
Hmm.
as to what's going on. This is what worked for me. I'm sure it's going to work for you. What was it? Was it a manager? Was it an executive? Was it a personal thing? Was it, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was it that said, you know what, miss me with all this? I have got to, I got to try
Hmm.
something new.
Yeah. Well, the catalyst was my son, and he's now
Mm.
18, but when he was almost 4 years old, we were sitting there one night together. I'm a single mom, and so I was working on my computer, and he was over there playing with his Legos and drawing and all of those things.
Right.
And he came over to me to show me something that he had done. With all the pride of a 3.5-year old just wanting to, show mommy what he had done. And I
Mhm.
shushed him. I said, hey, hold on a second. Mommy will look at that in a moment. Lucky for me, he put his hand on my computer and said, mommy, you're not paying attention to me. And that was my moment that I was like, oh. And then, I had to start getting clear, and I had to start getting honest, and I had to start replaying all these things that have been happening. The fact that I was driving to work and wishing I would get into an accident so I could go into the hospital for a couple of days and just get some rest. I had to start listening to the feedback from my clients who were saying things such as, wow, you always seem so busy. Oh, are we interrupting you? And all of these things started to play. And I was like, maybe I'm not the Wonder Woman that I thought I was. Maybe this quest to be everything and to be so overly available really wasn't working for me quite the
Right.
way I thought it was.
Yeah.
And I had to start getting real honest. And that was sort of the moment that I had to recreate and rework because what I was doing was clearly not giving me the results. I mean, just even with my son, the most important relationship in my life, and I couldn't even give him 30 seconds to look at a picture that he had drawn. I mean, that's messed up.
Interesting. It's funny, and I've taught it. This is the first time I'm gonna say this publicly, right? So you have, like I said, this meme generation, right? And you can do it. Don't give up. Sometimes you
You gotta give
giving up.
up.
Sometimes you know what I mean. Don't give up. If you're a quitter, you're da, 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 da.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I've often said this, and it's the first time I'm gonna say it publicly. Who benefits from that? Who's the
And that's what it
beneficiary of
is. And
that?
sometimes, and someone actually said this the other day, and it really stuck with me. Failure doesn't always mean failure. Failure is just sometimes a time for you to say, you know what? Let's pivot because
Yeah.
I wasn't doing it. I needed to let go. I needed to give up on what I was doing because it
Yeah.
wasn't working and it wasn't yielding the results that I wanted. So
If you're
again,
going to
I
look at it, yeah.
got to get clear.
If you're going to look at it in terms of bottom line,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I've said this publicly before. I don't know if she ever watches this show, she'll know who I'm talking about. But I had a boss one time, which is weird for me in and of itself. You know what I mean? I mean, we
Yeah.
all answer to somebody, but but I had a boss one time, and I was coming out of some health issues with my heart and stuff like that. And she says, listen, I know you want to get this done, but take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, it's like I used to say all the time when we were touring or playing music and stuff like that. And I would say, if there's no me, there's no show. So I have, and somehow I knew then, but I was so focused on, justifying the money they were paying me. And they were all stone geniuses, man. I mean, I walked in the first day and I'm just like, wow, because I'm not the smartest person. I'm definitely not the smartest person in the room, but I didn't realize they hired me for my genius.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. So I
It's
was
true.
pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. I'd get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd start work then. I mean, granted, I did have Europe too, but it was mostly in North America. But I was pushing and pushing and pushing, and every time I pushed, I would give up a little bit more of my power. The
Yeah.
reason that they hired me,
And
and
you do. You have to look at that. And also, again, I
dude,
started really paying attention to the people that I was sort of holding myself to their standards. When I started pulling back the curtain, I was
come
like,
on,
I was holding myself and going after the goals of the bank account. But you know what? Many of them had zero quality of life. They
right?
had horrible personal relationships. And I had to then say, you know what? What is it that I really want to be remembered for? You know,
What is the
what
legacy?
does more money mean? I mean, money's
Well,
great. Don't get me wrong.
more
I
money
love
means
making money,
freedom. Well, the thing,
but and it
yeah,
brings the freedom. But again, do I want more money at the cost of losing my relationships? What,
but I
what
mean,
was,
and here's the thing: they're not mutually exclusive. What you're
mm-hmm,
talking about too, and I love what I mean, oh my gosh, your Instagram is fantastic. All of this stuff that you're giving away, and then when they come and hear you speak, you give an even, it's more of the sauce. But it's not mutually exclusive. Look, I'm so sick of hearing you have to give up money in order to be happy. And I'm sorry, I've been
no,
broke and I've been wealthy, and I'll take wealthy every single time. There's a freedom in
absolutely.
that, but you
Yeah.
don't have to burn yourself. Every time I chased a dollar, it ran from me.
Right.
Every time I focused on quality, it tackled me, made me take it. I would say, no, 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 I have enough money. I never said that, but
Well,
I
it's
have
true.
enough money. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you take it, and then you can enjoy the freedom that it buys,
Well,
you
and the
know?
funny thing is it's this concept for me, it was this concept of compromise and value. What I found is you don't
Ooh,
need to compromise your integrity, and it's all about focusing on the value. I work
love that.
really hard,
Yeah.
but since I learned that I don't have to compromise my integrity, and when I focus on delivering value, I actually do make more money now.
Come
And I
on.
have better quality relationships. I have more freedom and flexibility, and I am happier than I have ever been in my entire life
Get
because
it,
it's the
Clara.
economic law. The economic law states that money flows to value. So
Mm,
showing up every day, not with the concept of who can I sell something to today, and changing it with the perspective of who can I deliver value to. And when you are focusing on value, the money follows.
that's a clip. Clara, stay right there. Everybody else, stay right there. We're going to take a quick break. Oh my gosh. This is so great. If you're not picking this up, I don't know what to tell you. Stay tuned. We're going to be right back with Clara Capano and these golden nuggets. Stay tuned.
Jane's Physical Therapy has immediate openings for full-time and part-time positions. For home healthcare physical therapists and physical therapy assistants, we are actively looking in the New Orleans and Lafayette areas. Call Bradley Clark at 713-364-8777. Join us at Jane's Physical Therapy, and let's help Louisiana get back to living life.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Work Your Career Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I tell you, if we didn't have to take a break, that conversation that we just had was fantastic. We were talking about integrity when we went to break. What does that actually mean? I've heard, you hear different things, right? In the Christian gospel world, the music that I, had success in, it was doing things in private that
Right.
you don't mind it being seen. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I'm not saying it right, but you get what I'm saying. What is integrity,
Mm-hmm.
and how does that play into how we should conduct ourselves in business?
Well, all I can tell you is for me, integrity means at the end of the day, can I look at myself in the mirror and be proud of the work that I created that day? The relationships, how I showed up, how I connected with people, because I am in no means perfect. Again, no one is perfect. So it's not about being perfect. It's about, again, knowing that you are living in how you speak. You are living in
Mm,
what you share. And again, when you can look yourself in the mirror and be like, I did my best today with what I have, with who I am today, did I give my best? And that's really all we can do. It's not about, again, being perfect. It's about, are you living the messages that you're speaking? And I think that's one of the
love
things
that.
that makes me, really successful, because when I go into corporations and speak, I really do model the behavior. Everything that I do and everything that I share with the people that I work with, I do myself. And I think that that speaks volumes, because people, again, are on the receiving end of what I'm speaking on. So they know that I live what I teach.
Right. I've said recently that people are so tired of hearing lies
Mhm.
that they'll swallow a whole truth and be, or I'm sorry, they'll swallow a half truth and be happy.
Yeah.
I
It's,
mean, we
it's,
have got to get out of that. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? And I think the only way we're going to be able to do it is living in integrity, conducting our business with integrity. If you're not, and I've said this over and over and over again, people can like it or lump it. I truly don't care. But the evidence is in. If you're not living a life of integrity personally, you certainly won't be living it in the business world.
Yeah.
It's
And
just it's
again,
just the way it
you're
is.
going to make mistakes. So own it.
Well,
If you made
mistakes
a
are
mistake, if
mistakes.
you said the wrong thing, if you offended someone, even if you didn't do it intentionally, own it and say, I didn't think of it that way. That wasn't my intention, but I apologize, and own it and move
And
forward.
move. Yeah.
You have to do that.
Do you remember a few years ago, and I want to get your perspective on it as an executive and as a business owner? And as someone that has been on almost every network television show, or, television show from ABC, MSNBC to Fox, right?
Mhm.
Remember that saying about, I don't know, probably about 10 years ago, and it's really caught on, and it's like they're saying the same thing now in different words, but the fail fast.
Mhm.
Can you explain to the audience what that means from an executive perspective? And then we'll get into what it doesn't mean for the average person.
Exactly. Well, I think the idea, and I think the concept they were trying to go for is don't be afraid of failure. Embrace failure for what it is and keep going and understand that it's part of the process. It's part of the journey to success. So don't be afraid of it. Because I think too many times people are afraid of failing, but it's part of the process. I think from my perspective, it's sort of been a little bit lost in the translation, where I think what people were doing is they were moving so quickly, they were not taking time for the reflection. Because failure happens, but if you don't pause to reflect, to pivot, to evolve, you're just going to be going forward and you're just going to be doing these things without being thoughtful and purposeful on how you reapproach things. So I think there can be a danger of moving too quickly through the failure, because part of the beauty of the failure is the reflection on why did it fail? Why wasn't it working? So that when we approach it the next time, we can do it with more thought behind it.
I love that. And, and two, from an executive point of view, to piggyback on that, failing fast also means it's another term for pivoting. It's if you're gonna look at something and it doesn't. My former CEO, when I did an interview with him when I worked at that company, and he was like, we developed something that was good, but there was somebody else that came and did it cleaner, faster, and better, and so nobody needed what we did. After that, though, we pivoted and made the company. You know what I'm saying? That's what failing fast means. It's an executive term that has been co-opted for people to, I don't know, feel better about whatever. But what it means is so far removed from or what the perception now.
But the intent has been
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So you know what I think we should do?
What?
I think you want to go live on Instagram?
Sounds perfect to me. Let's do
You
it.
want to do it? You want to do it? Okay. I don't quite
No,
know
I'm
how to do
shy.
this.
I'm shy, Bradley. Please, we wouldn't want to do that.
We wouldn't want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go live.
I'm going to let you do it though, because I'm not technology savvy.
Well, you're gonna have to. Okay, how do I go live with you? Oh, do you have your phone? You have your phone with you? Okay, so I'm gonna go live. Okay,
and I think I have to find.
And then I think you have to
follow you first.
Wait. Which live am I? Oh wait, this is the wrong live. Hold on. And now, all right. Okay, no, don't share. Discard video. Okay, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna go on my Work Your Career Wednesday. Okay, so we're gonna go live, and then to find me, I don't know if we should do this or not. We're gonna try it. Work Your Career Wednesday on Instagram. It's just all one. Or what's it? Work Your? I don't know. You'll. It's.
I got Work Your Career. I got it. So I'm gonna follow back. Okay.
So I'm gonna go live. See if we can do this. I just want to try it. Okay, now. See. Okay, I'm gonna add Clara. There we go. I'm inviting you to go live. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. This is so much fun.
I just joined.
Did you join?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at us.
It is cool.
We did it.
Okay, now put your volume all the way down.
I know. There we go.
And then we're gonna give some folks the like behind the scenes.
Ooh.
So on your phone, put your
magic.
On your phone, put your volume all the way down.
On my phone, put my volume.
Yeah, on your phone. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Hello,
I have my volume back here. Is that what we want?
Let's see.
Can you hear me here now?
I can hear you there.
Okay. And that's where you want to hear me.
Yeah, but why isn't it turning it down on the okay, we may have to do this. See, it's still, I can still hear my, whatever. We'll see if we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I have my volume all the way down on my phone, so I don't know.
I'd have mine too. Let me see. Okay. All right. Well, let's just keep going. Let's keep going. We're having an amazing time talking with Clara Capano, Work Your Career Wednesday. She is just absolutely fantastic and amazing. There you go.
Yep. See if I can.
So one of the things we're talking about integrity, we're talking about what failing fast actually means. Let me ask this: when someone comes to see you speak, right? And what are some of the questions that you get from different parts of the world, or is it always the same question?
A lot of the questions that I get are around, is this really going to work for me? My life is so different. My demands are so different and everybody thinks that they're so unique in what they're doing, but we're all facing the same challenges. And so, a lot of times it's again in the reframing it. And I'll give you an example. I talk about time blocking. And I just was speaking to a team in Miami. It was a real estate team in Miami. And I was talking about time blocking. And I said, if you're sitting down to do some reach outs to your clients who have worked with you in the past, and you're just going to do some reach out calls, go ahead and block an hour and it now becomes an appointment. And you don't take any incoming distractions. Oh, we can't possibly do that. My people need us. It's not going to work. And I say, okay, let's change the scenario. Let's say now that you're at a listing consultation. Can you go to your listing consultation and not have distractions? And they're like, oh yeah, I would never check my voicemails. And I was like, see, it can work. You just have to, change the way that you're defining it. So it's again about taking these things in, and it's about, looking at these, because the truth is if I take my son to the park, that's an appointment, because we show up for our appointments. So it's again, taking these concepts and putting it into their life. And that's why I'm a big proponent of the concept of creating success on your terms, because you have to take all of these items and repurpose them so they work for your life.
Attention lawyers. Are you tired of wasting thousands of dollars in billboards, magazines, and more with little results? If so, we can help you save big. Did you know that a powerful video can be used on practically any platform and get you more clients than just one billboard alone? Visit our website at whitehuskyfilms.com. Call or text us today to receive a limited time offer. Take advantage of this one while it's here. It won't last long.
It almost overnight, they see the results. Because again, I think so many of us think that success has to look a certain way, and the way that you run your days has to be the way that I run my day. And I call BS on that, because your life dynamics are different than my life dynamics. For example, I am an early bird. I'm usually up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That works for me. I see success in that. That doesn't mean everybody else has to do that, because I know several other people who are night owls and they're being very productive. You've got to find the pattern that's going to work for you. And so again, you can take all this information in, but again, you have to package it in a way that's going to best support you and your definition of success. This is why when I work with people, one of the first things I work with them on is their clarity of vision. What is your vision of success? Let's define that first, because I can't help them design a strategy until we define what success is for them first.
We're going to cut this live. There's so much to this, and just stay tuned. If you're on Instagram, come on down to Work Your Career Wednesday on Wednesday. We'll talk soon. Let me see. How do I get? Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh my goodness. That was fun, right? I'm hoping I didn't have my mic on for that last question. We'll have to edit that. It's fun, right? Hey, we learned something new. Fun. I've never done that before. Gosh, Clara, I was going to say, what's the most common, things that you hear? What are some of the most unusual things that people have come up to you and told you, hey, you know, and how did
Mhm.
you help them?
Yeah. So a lot of things, I don't know if they're necessarily unusual, but some of the things that people say to me is, what do I do when I'm working to change my mindset, to change how I show up, but my people on the home front aren't there? How do I deal with the naysayers when the naysayers are my immediate circle?
Hmm.
And again, so that's something that we have to work with because that's the reality. And sometimes it's, we have to honor them where they are too. So I'll just give an example and I'll go back to the example of being a morning person. I've had several people in my life that are not morning people. When I go on vacation, and I'll go on vacation oftentimes with my sisters, they're not necessarily morning people as I am. But you know what? I still get up at 5 a.m. I get up, I go and do my mindset work. I go and I do my workout. I go and I save the towels and the chairs by the pool. And when they roll out of bed at about 9 or 9:30, they can come down and join me. That's cool. It's they got their routine. I have my routine, but I have to own it. Yes, this also
Yeah.
means that I go to bed much earlier. I'm okay with that. I've had to let go of other people's interpretations because I have my goals and I have the vision for me. If other people want to be negative, that's on them. I'm not going to change what I am. I can share with them, such as, many times if I'm with people and they're in my immediate circle and they're being more negative, I stop them for a moment and I say, you know what are you grateful for today? And sometimes that just
Oh,
causes them to pause.
come
So
on.
again, whether they are open to receive it or not, that's outside of my control. I have to focus on what it is that I want to do. But another big thing is I always ask them, have you shared your vision with them? Not shared your goals. Have you shared your vision with them?
Two different
Because
things.
we share the goal, but we don't share the why behind it. Because many times, if you explain to them, and I did this with my ex-husband, he didn't understand why I was traveling so much because on the surface, you're being away from your son too much. But when I sat down and I explained my vision and I sat down and I put the pieces together, he's like, okay, this makes a lot more sense now. And he could start supporting me. And I could also change some of the ways that I was doing it so I could still be connected with my son even when I was on the road. So again, I think it really comes back to, again, you've got to get that clarity of vision, but you've got to start communicating it. My friends now don't tease me as much. They still tease me about going to bed at 8:30 at night because they understand why. And it's
You
like,
know,
and honestly, they teased me, but they're like, you know what? We're so proud of you. And so I think it goes
love
back to,
that.
you've got to communicate the why.
So, there are a lot of people that want to do what you do. Like they want to
Mhm.
share their story. They want to get out there. They want to do speaking. They want to do podcasts. They want to do all that. And one thing that, as a performer all my life, and what you have said just now, are you sure that you want to do it?
Mhm.
Because it's the cost. Now there's the cost. The cost is traveling. The
Yep.
cost is, being away. You're giving yourself to other people, and, your immediate family sometimes suffers. How important is it from your perspective now, looking back,
Mhm.
on having those hard conversations up front and letting them know this is my calling,
Mhm.
this is my
It's everything.
vision?
It's everything. You have to. And again, just from an example of my personal life, I started off with the story of my son when he was 3.5. He's
Right.
now 18. But I started, sharing my weekly schedule with him when he was probably about 8 or 9. I started sharing my vision with him. And I remember when I was writing my last book, which is called The Mother of All Success Manuals. It's a guidebook for working moms. And he was about 16 at the time. And I remember sitting down with him and saying, can you tell me, how do you define a good mom? And I was so surprised because his concepts and his thoughts were someone that listens to me, someone that supports me and my dreams. It was not somebody that has dinner on the table at 6 p.m. at night. So again, I think we need to give them a lot more credit, but he understands it. And I've had moments where I'm like, listen, you have this item going on, but I was given this opportunity. I'm not going to accept this opportunity unless it's okay with you. And his response has been, you know what, Mom? I want you to go live your dream. You are impacting lives and you have to go do what you were meant to do. I'll be okay. But then also it's the compromises. After I go and I speak, everybody else is going and having a celebratory drink. I'm back at the hotel, jumping on FaceTime to do homework with my son. So again, you have to make those trade-offs and understand, what you're doing. So again, it's having all of those in place, and that's how you're going to be able to be successful. To me, giving up a happy hour, even though I'm networking and networking is important, I made a commitment to my son to also be a mom first and to be there with him first.
I love what you're saying. I really do. So many times, people don't understand that there's a structure to things and you have to adhere to that structure, right? You have to adhere to that. It's like a building being reinforced by what makes it stand up. And what you're talking about so often, and I think this really happened in the media, probably starting in the mid to late 60s, maybe even earlier, to where family, being married was a concept that, oh God, I can't believe I'm married, and this and that. And then family, it's like, well, I got to put food on the table and this and that. And all that's true, but it was a disintegration of the family unit. I don't want to get into, you know where I'm going with this. It was like, you know what I mean? It was a promotion of bad behavior. So instead of helping now, and don't get me on the technology. Well, now we have Zoom. Miss me with that. You had a phone. We're not horse and buggy here.
Yeah.
But instead of helping your son, that was square. Going out and getting S-faced at the conference was the thing to do because it's networking.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so it's just so funny to me how what you're describing, the right thing to do, is the right thing to do. And it's always been the right thing to do.
Well, and what I find is when people say, oh, hey, are you going to come join us? And I say, no, I actually promised my son that I would meet with him because I have to help him work on a paper. The right people love that. And they're like, that's amazing. Yeah. And what I have found is the right people seek me out, regardless if I went to the happy hour or not.
That's right.
They remember these things. And that's why they hire me.
That's what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. Gosh, man, I want people to get this concept of just, here's the other thing that's different too. There's a idea that you have, everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Yeah. And so you can really separate the people that are willing to do the things that other people won't in order. And at the end of the day, it's all about service too. It's all about service. I'm going to take one more break and then we're going to come back, and I'm just blown away. If everybody's in the sound of my voice, if you haven't seen it by now and you're not booking, which you're already booked out for a while, but if you're not booking Clara Capano, you're really missing out. Stay tuned. We will be right back.
Jane's Physical Therapy has immediate openings for full-time and part-time positions. For home healthcare physical therapists and physical therapy assistants, we are actively looking in the New Orleans and Lafayette areas. Call Bradley Clark at 713-364-8777. Join us at Jane's Physical Therapy, and let's help Louisiana get back to living life.
Everybody, welcome back. Jeez. I'm so excited about this. This is so great. This is so great.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun too.
Oh my gosh. You are great. I would love to get booked with you. Like, I mean, I really would. I would be your opening act. I really would.
I think we could share the stage. We could share the headline.
That sounds good to me. Either way, I just want to be in the mix somewhere. You're fantastic. And now I want to talk, people can reach out to book you at claracapano.com.
Correct. Yeah.
But there's all sorts of
I do speaking, I do workshops for corporations and groups. I have some, one-on-one programs. So I really am there again to fit into your life. So whatever it is that you or your organization need, I want to be able to bring that value. So again, we can take what I have, but somewhat customize it so that it's speaking to your value and what you need.
So what is it that I don't want to say what they get, but what is it that they can expect? Like, what's the experience like working with a professional like you?
Well, it's very hands-on. It's very real. Again, it's all about helping you create success on your terms. So the idea is, again, we have our foundation. I have created something called the CLARATY Success Method. And that's what I walk a lot of people through to be able to, again, help them create clarity from complexity. But what we have to do is unpackage that so that, again, it supports your goals and your visions. So it's very real. It's very strategic, but it's going to be something that you're going to feel so good about it when you leave, because you're going to be a part of the designing it. So again, it's not just me showing up and just spewing information. You're part of the process because we're creating your path to success.
So you provide the foundation, they provide the building. And you guys design it's so funny to think about this in terms of architecture, because that's what you're doing. You're building, a person's, success, their dreams, their goals. I love that. I absolutely love that. And
that's why, again, we have to start it. And that's why, I always say the first thing we're going to do is we're going to define your vision. We're going to define what success is for you. Then we're going to design the strategy to get you there.
Hands-on.
Yep.
So
and
they
even
get like
in a corporation, even in a corporation, because we talked about this earlier, even in a corporation, we could work with the framework of the vision of the corporation, but each person has their own approach to it. So that even in a group setting, it's going to be still very personalized. So each person can create their world and how they need to show up to give their best to the organization, because an organization is only as strong as its weakest link. And so we want to make every person, every individual in that organization their best, so that together as an entity, they're delivering optimal service and value.
Wow. I love that, and it's funny, not once did you mention money. Money is the byproduct of job well done. It's like that saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get. And the smarter I work, the luckier I get. You know what I mean?
It's so true.
I love that.
Money flows to value. I'm here to deliver value. Everything else,
money
flows the way it needs to.
I love that. People, there's one thing that they take away: money flows to value.
Yep.
Period. Money flows to value. Gosh, man. I love that. Where I don't want to end this, but I want people to know right away where they can go find you. So claracapano.com, you have that.
That is the best place to go. You can get access to all my free resources. You can get access to all my programs, my membership group. You can book me as a speaker. So everything is housed on that website.
And you're on television.
I am. I actually have 2 shows. We've rebranded them. So I have my show for professional women, which is called Women Winning Their Way, where I talk about how as women, we can break free from the standards that are set and forge forward on our own personal paths to success and freedom. And then I have another show where I talk with industry experts, and the show is called Be Productive. So we're talking about different ways to, again, level up our personal productivity.
I love that. That's probably the one I'm going to be on, right?
Love it.
I love that. So, I've noticed, and it's probably because, you are a woman, so you're wanting women to succeed, a single mom, there's a lot of single dads out there too.
I work with them too. I work with
Right.
everyone. I mean, I would say, I guess my niche, if I need a niche, is the working woman, the working mom.
Yeah.
But I've been working with men for over 20 years as well. And again, my job is to just help people. Again, it's to
What's
help people make success easy.
I love that. What's the main difference in working with a man and women?
You know,
What are the
a lot of
differences?
it is just in, again, how we define things, how we define time, and looking at
Mhm.
the investment of our energy, but they're really not as different as we think they are.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
love that. I absolutely love that. Oh gosh, man, I got so much out of this. I don't want to end it. I
I
really don't.
know.
Oh gosh. Well, I'll tell you what, you're
Well,
gonna
I'll
have to
come
come
back
on.
anytime. We can talk more
Please
anytime.
do. And when we get off this show, you're gonna book me for your show. I
Yeah.
can't wait. I can't wait. Um, guys, get a hold of Clara. Period. You book her for speaking or personal development. Again, personal development is professional development. Period. Because you can't be right at work if you're wrong at home. Just can't do it. It
Can't
just
do it.
I think that's one of the other things about burnout and the lack of structure is you're trying to
Mhm.
do one thing here, and I think that's one of the things that men have problem with is that they're trying to. We tend to think in terms like boxes, right? So today I'm at this is my work box, this is my
Mhm.
home box, and never
Right.
the two shall meet.
Right.
Recipe for disaster. Recipe for disaster. And I love the fact that Clara, you have the recipe that's personalized so people can really, really get the most out of their life, not just out of their
Exactly.
job, out of their life. Gosh, oh my gosh. Clara, you're amazing. You are
Thank
awesome.
you. It's been
Period.
so much fun. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for what you are doing to bring awareness to so many people on a global level. You're amazing too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Thank you so much. And again, guys, get a hold of Clara. You can go to claracapano.com and we're going to have the links to all of her, where you can get a hold of her. Book her, go to her Facebook groups, go to any way possible to work with Clara. You will not be disappointed. In fact, this could be the answer to the silent prayer that you have been praying for real. So, with that, everybody at White Husky Films, Jane's Physical Therapy, all the folks that are so wonderful and kind to hitch their wagon to us. And if I may say so, Clara Capano, thank you so much for coming on. You're just a light and amazing person. Get a hold of her and know this, everybody within the sound of my voice, that we love you. God bless you. Let his face shine upon you, give you great peace. Be excellent to yourself and each other. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
White Husky Films. Dream, create, record. We create ads and promos for your business. We can promote your video on television, Facebook, YouTube, Hulu, and more. We do a full Google SEO analysis for you with any plan. Call us today at 305-744-1444 or visit our website at whitehuskyfilms.com. White Husky Films. You'll be glad you did.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Hey, if you like Work Your Career Wednesday and want to be notified every single time we have a new episode, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, smash it, get a hammer and get it. And oh,
Yeah, that's fine.
too much?
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I love it. People want.
Do you hear Steven in the background? I was just making sure I'm going to be okay. But get that notification going. And hey, we will be letting you know, or I guess YouTube will be letting you know, when the next Work Your Career Wednesday is on. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Man, ding it, ring it, sling it, and bing it. All right? And we will see you soon. Work Your Career Wednesday. Oh, great. I'm glad you stopped by. Be sure to get that subscription bell, and I'll see you there.